weather this week. This weekend was okay. I mean, not bad. Today's beautiful weather. Too bad we're trapped inside, forced to make money. So that's just the situation we're in, and it's a good place to be. So I wanted to get started as soon as possible. We have a jam-packed session today. We're going to run through the new way to run YouTube ads and how to drive essentially the highest quality of leads and appointments from any kind of ad platform. So YouTube ads absolutely wins the race in terms of which platform is the best from an advertising perspective, in terms of getting the most qualified lead, driving that lead through your pipeline, finding the sales intent, right? Because there's this huge debate saying, in the marketing community, where people would look at Instagram and Facebook ads, and they would, assume that, with rising CPMs, the cost is rising to advertise on those platforms because more people are jumping on the platforms. So that increases the amount people are bidding against each other for the same ad inventory and the same ad placements. And essentially what happens is it drives the cost per click higher, drives the CPMs higher. To get any result, it's just starting to cost more. So that's part of the game. It's happened to pretty much every ad platform that exists. Now, the only one that seems to still have a blue ocean, despite it being such an old platform, is YouTube, right? So YouTube has effectively figured out a way to build the most ultimate platform. Now, I say that because it's like Google, where there's intent. People are searching for things and they have intent in finding out the answer to certain things, they have intent, sales intent in buying something or researching an alternative or looking for services of a specific type or whatnot. Like, they have that intent initially, which is why when you advertise to them with a lucrative offer that aligns with what they're looking for, it's a lot easier to get them to come into your funnel and or book a call with you, become a lead, etc. Right? So we are going to go through the new way to run ads to drive the highest quality leads and appointments on YouTube. We are absolutely in a golden age. So when it comes to, all these ad platforms, a lot of people will say, oh, I wish I was there when Facebook was cheaper. I wish I spent more money on Facebook, 5 years ago. Everyone likes to speak in sort of retrospect, and they like to look at the past and say, hey, I wish I did that. I wish I did this, right? You don't want to be the guy that says, I wish I got in early on YouTube ads, right? YouTube ads is still a very, very new and developing platform. There's so much blue ocean, and that's because of the way it works and the way you target on YouTube. There's a lot of advertisers, don't get me wrong, but still you can do things on YouTube, and you can drive the highest quality form of customer and lead through your pipeline, just simply because they have the best sales intent, and simply because YouTube actually has a really good pricing methodology behind how they even charge you and what you're paying for in the first place, okay? So yeah, we are in the golden era of YouTube ads. So don't be that person, that guy or girl that's going to say, I wish I spent more when it was cheaper, or I wish I spent more when there was less advertisers on the platform, or I wish, I got in early, like all these people these days saying the same thing over and over again about every platform. So don't be that person. Specifically YouTube ads, jump on it as soon as you can. I also just created a brand new ad account in YouTube for the sake of this lesson. So we're going to go over creating everything from scratch, from your conversions to your audiences, to, how to set up remarketing, to how to get the cold traffic in the door, how to actually make a YouTube ad, what a YouTube ad is constructed of to be hyper performing and, converting well. So we'll go through all that today. And if there's any questions along the way, as always, just feel free to leave your question in the chat and we will get to it in the end, okay? There's no such thing as a bad question. So, okay, so in order to be successful with YouTube ads, you actually do have to target the right people at the right time with the right message, okay? So that's obviously pretty, generic statement, but it's true. The right people at the right time with the right message. So when we say right people, right time, right message, we say the right people. So if I am targeting someone, let's just say I'm a realtor, right? And I want to target, or let's say I'm a mortgage agent, I want to target a realtor, for example. That's the person, or I want to target home buyers or whatever, right? You have to know who you're targeting, and and with YouTube, there's affinity level targeting, there is demographic level targeting. So you can actually target a specific person. Now at the right time. So that's that. Now targeting the right person, that's more demographic affinity level targeting, right? And we'll explain what that is in a minute, but that's for the right people, right? Now for the right time, so targeting the right people, right? But targeting at the right time is, that person might be exactly who you want to target, but it's not the right time to hit them with the message. Now, how do you know to hit them at the right time? Well, it depends on what they're watching. What are they consuming, right? Are they at the time in which they're going to convert? Are they at the conversion stage, the bottom of the funnel? Are they in this position where they're actively researching for the things that you offer, right? And you can get very localized with YouTube ads. You can also be very, international with YouTube ads. You don't have to be specific to geography, but you could also get very granular with localized targeting on YouTube. YouTube is all about layering your audiences to build the best form, build the best potential target audience, and then you're essentially hitting them with the right message. Okay, so remember, the right people, they fit our target audience. So if I'm a marketer, I'm selling to business owners. So they have to be the right people. They have to be business owners, but not just being business owners. They also have to be consuming content on YouTube around, how to do marketing or how to hire a marketing agency or these types of pieces of content, right? It's not enough for you to tell me that you're a business owner. You have to be a business owner searching for alternatives that I happen to solve, right? That I happen to sell a service in the same alternative category, right? So that we have to target the right people at the right time, so they're actively consuming the things we want them to with the right message. And your offer has to be the correct offer. It has to be done in the right way. The video has to be created in the right way. It has to hook people in. So we're going to discuss all that in a second. But yeah, let's go over like basically what that is on a breakdown. So the first example is when you target, you can actually target by alternative options. So for example, if I was let's just say I was a marketer, I'll stick to the same example. I might actually run my advertisement on not a competitor's channel who offers the exact same thing as me, but rather a related product or service. So for example, in order to work with, my services, a lot of the times we help with for example, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very big platform that we use to drive success for our clients. So I might actually look for channels on YouTube. I might look for videos on YouTube that have to do with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, that have to do with LinkedIn advertising, that have to do with driving business from LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn is not a competitor of mine. I utilize LinkedIn to help. It's actually an alternative option to my service, because if you learn online, you're able to find a lot of this information online, right? So the beauty is that if you're actively searching for LinkedIn Sales Navigator hacks, or you're looking for LinkedIn advertising solutions, I could run my ad on those channels and on those videos that talk about the related or complementary option to what I sell, right? And that allows me to reel people in who wouldn't have originally considered that, right? So that's called reframing the mind. I'll show you how to do that. Another thing is the exact competitor. So with YouTube, it's nice because you can actually target an exact competitor. You can target, for example, a realtor who's localized to your niche, or you can target, someone who follows, basically anyone who offers exactly what you offer, whether it's a software, whether it's a service business, a very large influencer that sells similar products or services. You can run your ads on their videos, on their channels, hooking people in and bringing them into your sales funnel. It's very simple. And another example for some of the mortgage agents there, a realtor or a mortgage agent targeting real estate investing videos locally, right? So you can go to YouTube and you can quite literally type in real estate investing and click enter. And what you're going to see is, first of all, these are called discover ads. So we're not going to worry about these for now. These discover ads we only use for retargeting purposes. We're not going to do that now. But here's the initial results in YouTube when I search real estate investing, right? So for example, this one was posted a year ago. Ever since it's got 1.1 million views, right? So real estate investing as a search category is something that I could go ahead and target, so that all these channels, or I can source out the specific channels. So for example, Graham Stephen or Kevin O'Leary, but sometimes you want to be careful with the channel level targeting because sometimes the channels talk about a lot of different topics, right? So if I was specifically looking for real estate level, like people who are in the market for buying real estate, I would get very granular with my targeting by essentially putting my ad on people who are running real estate investing videos. Okay. Now the channel doesn't have to be local. So like, for example, you can find a massive real estate investing channel and you can actually layer a demographic saying that I only want to show my ad to people who are watching videos on this big real estate investing channel, but only the ones that live in Toronto. Right? So you can set it up that way where you're layering demographics, geography demographics, and you're only targeting the ones based in Toronto. So that's also something you can do, which is a lot of realtors, a lot of mortgage agents, they absolutely kill it with YouTube. It is, like I said, a blue ocean platform, and I'll show you exactly why that is the case. So with YouTube ads, you only pay per true view. Okay, now what is a true view? A true view is, it's not like Facebook and Instagram and Google where someone clicks on your ad. Like, let's just say someone goes over on YouTube and, for example, you see this. If I click on this video, first thing you're going to see is an ad. You see this? I'm going to pause this, but this here, it says ad 1 of 2, right? This is an ad, right? I could skip this, right? These are called in-stream skippable ads, and these are the ones we're going to run, right? So if I watch this video, you're going to see this video ad appear.
Thanks to Lucia, which instantly connects you to ideal prospects.
And then now I can skip it. And I'm sure you guys have seen these ads, and you see here where it says the actual call to action. So we're going to learn how to run these today. These are very important that you know how to run these, because this is absolutely what's going to change the face of your business. Now, why? Because look, you see this little skip button. A lot of people think like, oh, I hate when the skip button comes in, but that's not the case. The skip button is actually your best friend, and I'll tell you why. Because if someone clicks skip, okay, between now up to 30 seconds, if someone clicks, either doesn't watch up to 30 seconds or clicks skip anywhere within the video, you don't pay for that impression. So you don't pay for that view. So the only time that you pay on YouTube is when someone either watches full 30 seconds of your video or doesn't click on the skip button. So someone who watches the full 30 seconds, if they watch a full 30 seconds, you'll be charged. It'll count as a, it's not an impression, it's an actual true view. Okay. So an impression, if they click skip though, if I'm watching this video and I just click skip, so I think that didn't, whoever was advertising, the company was called Lucia. That company did not have to pay for me just now, that placement. I just watched that video of Lucia, right? I just saw that. That was a touch point with Avi, right? I just saw that ad, right? But they didn't have to pay for it because I just skipped it, right? Isn't that beautiful, right? So think about how many free plays, you're gonna get tons of free plays from people that don't watch the full 30 seconds. They end up just clicking skip, right? And every time those people click skip, or every time people don't watch up to 30 seconds, you don't pay $1. So that's why YouTube is also great, because the way their pricing works and the way you get charged is very different than the other platforms. Like with Facebook and Instagram and Google, as soon as someone clicks on your stuff, you get charged cost per click. As soon as someone views your ad, it's just on their screen and they're scrolling by it, boom, you just get charged per an impression, right? So that's not how it works with YouTube. It's how you only get charged with true views. So you only pay for a view that has actually watched the full 30 seconds and has not skipped. Now, why is that good? That's good because the other platforms have a higher diluted sales intent, right? With YouTube, you have higher sales intent. It's not diluted, right? It's higher sales intent because the people watching 30 seconds, if someone actually gets to the 30-second mark or even beyond, and your YouTube ads are supposed to be anywhere between 4 and 6 minutes. That's how long your ad's going to be. So it is going to be an effort to create an ad. You don't need anything crazy to create it. We're going to go over how to create your ads in a second, but you should aim between 4 and 6 seconds, and 4 and 6 minutes. And the only time you get charged is when someone watches 30 seconds or more of that ad. So right off the gate, if someone's watching 30, and these days grabbing attention off of any website or any platform online is very difficult. So, having someone's attention for 30 seconds is already a lot. You can do a lot within 30 seconds online. You can really convert someone. You can really convince someone. You can really build that picture and narrative that you're looking to drive. and pump your offer out there with a call to action saying, please go ahead and schedule your call. And that's it. Or please go ahead and watch the webinar, or please go ahead and take a look at this free training, right? You might want to entice people. So there's lots of different strategies on YouTube, and we're going to go over them. But really, you should know that if someone skips your ad between 5 and 29 seconds, you don't pay a single cent. That's why, like I said, the skip button is your best friend. It's essentially free advertising. So I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 weeks ago, we were discussing touch points, right? We were discussing, the more touch points you have, with a potential lead or potential prospects, whether they see your ads, they see your emails, they see your text messages, they see your retargeting ads, they see your website, then they see a brochure, and then they talk to your sales rep, and then your SDR, and then they booked a follow-up call, and then they got a contract, and then after they got a contract, they got a free ad created for them, or whatever it is, right? So the more touch points you have with your prospects, these are all called touch points, the higher chance of closing these touch points will bring for your customers, right? They'll naturally start closing at a higher rate. So that's why YouTube's great, because you're getting so many free plays, right? You're getting so many free opportunities for people to see your face, see who you are, see your offer. And then you also have all the remarketing functionality that you would have normally had on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all these other platforms. It's like you could still run ads at people who are within a custom audience. You could still run ads at people who essentially booked a call with you, or you can run ads and you can retarget people who visit a page but didn't book a call with you, for example, right? So there's lots of options, and really the ad formats that we're going to go over are the ones listed. So we have in-stream ads. So, and that's the one that I showed you here. That's the one where I skipped it. Those are the skippable in-stream ads, right? So let's just say real estate investing was the type of search that I was making here. And then this is the video I clicked on.
Let me ask you a
question. You're going to see another ad as well, right? See, this in-stream skippable ad is what this is
website called. If so, how's it doing for you? Let's face it.
And so
10
right
years
away, this little button will pop up saying register for the free web class, and then you can skip the ad, or you can keep watching.
The websites were the greatest
thing. So if I watched 30 seconds and onwards, then then the advertiser has to pay money, right? Only if I watch the full 30 seconds. You see, we're at 6 seconds, and look how long 30 seconds is.
Sliced bread. You can put up a website to sell your product or promote your service, buy some ads, and if you did it right, you put $1 in advertising into your website and get $2 back out. But over the last 10 years, competition has gotten stronger. Millions of new websites are popping up every day. Ad costs online are going through the roof. And the same website that you would put $1 into ads and hope to get $2 back out was now losing.
Okay, stop there. That's 30 seconds. Okay. So you see how long that was? That's a long time to be able to convert someone or convince someone or hook someone into what you're talking about, right? You can hook lots of people in very easily with that 30-second window. And if they don't hit this 30-second mark, if they don't hit this, you don't pay $1. So it's quite literally free advertising. If you have a good ad. Now that's the thing, you have to make sure your ad is good, because if your ad is great, then by the time they get to that 30 seconds, they're hooked in, right? They're going to keep watching. They might even click on your little button here saying register. See that? I just clicked on that. It's going to take me to a landing page now. And this is going to ask me to register for a masterclass or register for some kind of free webinar where I can learn something, right? So you might want to run them to a VSL, or you might want to run them to a webinar. This is a webinar funnel where you're teaching something, you're teaching a free class, and then after the class, you're going ahead and you're converting the prospect. I'm going to show you how to do this method as well as the VSL method, right? And the VSL method is a more quick, easier sales pitch. It gets right to the point, and it converts the prospect if they're interested in the product or service. You have to put a good offer in there for it to make sense. But ultimately, what you're seeing here is you're seeing that at the 30-second mark, there's a lot of wording that you could have fit in there. And you have to really strategize this and plan this out, because the in-stream ads, these are for direct response, right? So your goal here is to get a lead, to book a call, to get someone to make a purchase, right? You have, and you can do that all within one cold traffic in-stream ad, okay? Now, the other thing is the YouTube search ads or discovery ads. Now, these here are the ones we discussed. If I could press back, these are up here. These are discovery / YouTube search ads, right? So if I search something, your ads are just going to appear here, just like Google ads, but just right on YouTube, okay? And these are nice too. These are really good for retargeting. If you want to put like a before and after of a customer, you could say, Nest Capital is one of the customers we worked with, for example. Nest Capital, $0 to $386,000 in 60 days using deal flow, right? And then a little paragraph about Ubby and deal flow, visit the website, right? So that could be a retargeting ad where it showcases a quick case study, right? Or you could say, I funded this person up to $500,000 on their first mortgage or whatever it was, a little information about Mitt and Mr. Kapadia and all of his, his business that he does. And then as well, you could go ahead and visit his website and book a call, right? So that would be a discover / YouTube search style ad. We don't really use these for the sake of like getting new people in the door. Okay, so I'm going to show you today how to run the in-stream ones, because those are the ones that convert the best. Now you might be wondering, you might be thinking like, oh, I need some crazy, videographer. You don't need any of that. Sure, it's nice to put the bells and whistles on it, but really you don't need much. You could just use a gimbal and an iPhone, right? As long as you have an iPhone and a gimbal, you'd be able to actually shoot a really high quality YouTube ad. I'm going to show you, and we're going to break down what makes a YouTube ad really good. And then as long as you hit the nail on the head and you create even one in front of your computer, it doesn't have to be crazy. You could literally, you see me right now, I'm chilling on a beach. I have this fake background. I'm really in my office. I'm not chilling on a beach. I'm just in my office, but my Zoom, I don't know how to change it. My Zoom auto background has been a beach for this entire time, which is great. I don't mind being on the beach. But you see, like, I can even create an ad just like this. It doesn't have to be some crazy live production ad that I've created. It doesn't have to be, I don't have to spend a single dollar on it. I can literally record myself just like this, talking inside the camera, and then edit it using iMovie, or edit it using Final Cut Pro, or edit it using some kind of online video editing tool, right? It should take you not too long. You can really figure it out how to create a very good YouTube ad. And your YouTube ad should be anywhere between 4 and 6 minutes. So we'll go over breaking that down. But really, you should know in terms of YouTube search or discovery ads, just know that it's good for testimonials. It's also good if you are like, if you're doing like direct phone call ads. So for example, you could, instead of visit site, you could actually have this so that people could call you directly. I recommend just keeping it clean and not really doing any of that right now. Let's just stick to the plan, which is the in-stream ads. These are the ones that convert the best. So let's stick to those. Why are YouTube ads so effective? Because of the learner's mindset. This is really, really powerful. When you're on Instagram or when you're on Facebook, you're just scrolling and consuming content. You're just going through, and remember, the content you're consuming is quick. It's quick content. It's not long form. It's under 30 seconds, under 60 seconds, under 10-second content, right? Sometimes even images, right? You're not even looking at video, right? You're really just consuming a lot of stuff very quickly, right? Whereas YouTube, you're not consuming a lot of stuff very quickly. You're consuming very little amounts of stuff, but you're going into depth and you're learning a lot about that thing, right? So you have this learner's mindset. The average video on YouTube is like, I think 8 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. So it's a lot more than Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's a much more long form platform. So the people that are on this platform, they're not here to, they're here, they have time to waste. They have time to spend. They're either looking for a solution, they're looking to spend the next 30 minutes watching a tutorial on how to accomplish, how to, invest in real estate. Or they're looking for a 30-minute tutorial on how to use Webflow and WordPress so they can design their website, right? Or they're looking for a 30-minute tutorial on how to run Facebook ads, right? So they can drive more leads for their business, right? Or they're looking for a QuickBooks tutorial, for 60 minutes on how to, effectively set up their QuickBooks account properly when they're doing their bookkeeping. Or they're looking for a do-it-yourself teeth whitening video solution, right? Tutorial on how to do that, right? So my point is that people are there to learn something. It's usually informative content. Now, what you need to do is you need to essentially get your ad on the sales intent keyword, right? All the high sales intent keywords, all the videos that have high sales intent, meaning that the type of things that they're learning have to do with your service and your offer. You will be able to extract lots of people off the platform, harvest them right off the platform, and right into your funnel. And that's exactly what you want to do. Now, you obviously can't do any of this until you've built your funnel first. So first step is build a funnel. Once you have the funnel, then this becomes very interesting, things like YouTube ads and stuff like that. But pretty much the reason why people convert a lot better on YouTube is because of the learner's mindset. They have the time to spend. They have the time to actually convert. Let's put it that way. They have the time to convert. They're watching a 20-minute video on YouTube. They see your ad. They click on your ad. You might have a master class or some kind of free webinar, or some kind of VSL, video sales letter, right? Even on our website, right? We have a VSL. So if I'm driving traffic to my website, you know, people are coming here and they're absolutely going to watch this video. And this video is 4 minutes and 34 seconds. So this would be an example of, you know, it's a lot easier for someone to watch the full 4 minutes and 34 seconds if they came from YouTube, because the average video on YouTube is like 30 minutes. Like, look, this one's 35 minutes, this one's 10 minutes, this one's 16 minutes, 19 minutes, 40 minutes, right? 27 minutes, 13 minutes, 18 minutes, an hour and 35 minutes, right? 27 minutes, 12 minutes, right? It keeps going. There's really not that much short form content. So if someone was willing to spend 10 minutes or 30 minutes watching a piece of content on YouTube, trust me, they're okay with watching 4 minutes and 34 seconds by VSL. Does that make sense? Whereas if someone was on Instagram consuming like a 12-second video, the likelihood of them going from a 12-second video to a 4 minute and 34 second VSL is going to be very difficult, right? Like that's a larger jump, right? It's a lot more to ask, right? Whereas the leap is actually downwards from YouTube as opposed to upwards when it comes from Instagram, right? So that's why it's very important you understand that YouTube is a gold mine. It's absolutely has higher sales intent on all of the leads, but not only that, it actually has, they're going to convert better because they simply have more time to convert. They have the learner's mindset. They're willing to actually apply themselves, learn something new, you know, consider content, you know, research things on the web. YouTube, people are researching. They're looking for alternatives. They're figuring stuff out on YouTube. That's what it's for. So, you know, you are an alternative as well, correct? So you should get your alternative just in front of the right buyers. That's all it is. That's what you're trying to do here. Now, very good, because like I said, the CTR, the click-through rates and the view rate of your webinars and your VSLs will increase, and your conversions will increase as a result, because people are watching content longer on YouTube as opposed to Instagram and Facebook, okay? Now, here is the breakdown in terms of how to actually qualify your ad as a solid advertisement that's going to do a good job. Now, basically, here's where people hit the mark. They essentially, what they do is they just pitch. They go, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Go ahead and book a call. They say, okay, they do a hook, and then they go right into the call to action, right? So they try to hook you and they say, you know, they'll clap, or like they'll grab your attention, or they'll do something loud in the beginning. Because really the first 5 or 6 seconds of the video with any YouTube ad, like, look, let's click on another video. We're going to see another ad now.
I just made another
seal. So this ad, you see that? So let's rewind that. So basically what happened there, if I refresh my page, what happened there, the first thing we saw was a gong. Did you guys see that? Raise your hand if you saw that gong. Wave your hand at me if you saw that. The first thing they did was they hit the gong in the video. Just want to make sure you guys are with me still. Okay. Yep. Some hands are raising. Okay. So yeah, you see the value of that, right? Why is that the case? Why did they hit the gong, right? The gong is to just be like, okay, I'm about to watch this video, but boom, right? Let me listen to this. It's to capture your attention. It's to hook you in right away within the first 5 seconds. So, and you can do that with a gong. You can do that with a clap. You can do that with, hey, right? You can do that with whatever you want, right? Ultimately, you have to test. You have to figure out how am I going to hook people in ultimately, right? But basically, here's where every single advertiser misses the nail on the head. Okay, they do not do a good job because they don't give a golden nugget in their ad. Okay, what I mean by golden nugget is you must teach someone something new, some unique insight, right? So you hook them. Here's how it should go, right? Here's the 3 components of a successful YouTube ad that's guaranteed to convert. Okay, so you have. Before, what I was saying was that people put in the hook and then they go right to the call to action, okay? And they do a little pitching, but that's it, right? They don't actually educate. They don't actually give the golden nuggets. They don't explain a unique insight. They don't give something new of value that was supposed to train the person and be like, whoa, I just learned something new. That's amazing. And then they see the call to action, which boom, they'll convert because they just gained value. So the likelihood of them gaining value again from you is higher. That's why they're going to click. They're going to convert only after you had this education stage involved, okay? So look, you're gonna hook them in. So you have 6 seconds before the viewer can skip your ad. So what you wanna do is just hook them in. So you wanna hook them in. So, and remember, your hook is a 30 to 60 second sort of piece of your ad, right? So, you know, I'll just, here, let me just pop open a random ad here. Are we seeing my screen still? So if I go to new campaign, let me create a new campaign. You're going to see a bunch of options here, right? Whenever you create a new campaign inside your Google Ads account, okay? There's sales, there's leads, there's website traffic, there's store visits, there's brand awareness. We're going to click on website traffic, okay? And then here under website traffic, there's search ads, there's display ads, there's shopping ads, there's video ads, and there's discovery ads. Today, I've already gone over with you video ads, and I've gone over with you discovery ads. You guys remember discovery ads? Those are the ones that were in the search results in YouTube. So those were these ones here. These are discovery ads, right? So we went over those, okay? That's this one, the discovery ads, and then we have the video ads. So these are the in-stream skippable video ads. So let's go ahead and click continue. Your goal is to drive conversions, okay? Once you click continue on the new campaign here, you're gonna have all these options down here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna go ahead and name this. I'm gonna call it Deal Flow Academy Test Campaign, okay? And then what I'm also gonna do is, and remember, this is before you even get to the stage of actually like filling out these details. We're gonna go through this really quickly. I'm gonna show you something that you need to do in the tools and settings first. So within your tools and settings, you're gonna hover over your conversions and you're gonna set up your conversions first. Remember, we did this with LinkedIn, we did this with Facebook. You must set up your conversions before you run ads, because that way YouTube and Google are now going to be tracking, okay, when does someone book a call with you? And remember, booked call is going to be your conversion. That's what we're aiming for here. We want more booked calls. So really, when someone books a call with you, you're going to tag that as a conversion. I'll show you how to do that later. But for the sake of this campaign here, after you set up your conversions, then you're going to go over to Audience Manager and you're going to set up a few things within the Audience Manager. Only after that will you get to this stage and you'll actually create a campaign here, okay? So we're going to do that in a minute. So just know that do those two things first, but after you do that, then you'll be in this window. But since I'm here already, let's just go through this, okay? So obviously your bid strategy, you're going to maximize conversions. You want to maximize the amount of booked calls that come in, right? Daily budget. I'd recommend you start with something along the lines of like $40 to $50 a day, just to get enough data to come in, you know, and this is Canadian dollars, right? And look, you can always pause it, right? So you can always wait like 4 days, 5 days, spend like $200, $300, and then pause it to see, you know, how it's going, right? But ultimately $40 a day is a really good place to be in terms of enough test data. Now down here is what, and this is budget and schedule, right? So you can obviously edit that and you can change the end date. So let's just say you want it to run continuously. If you wanted it to run continuously, then don't set an end date. So it should say end date none, right? If you wanted it to stop on a certain day, you can do that. You can just go start date and then create an end date, right? But I don't usually do that. I like to be in my ad manager. I like to see, you know, what exactly is going on. If they're underperforming, if they are underperforming, then I'll cut them. And remember, that's the goal. You don't think that you're just going to run an ad and it's going to work immediately. That's not how this works. It's an optimization process. You're going to run many ads. You're going to make many tweaks. You're going to be doing many different updates to your ads and to your creative and to your strategy and to your landing pages and all those things. And you will slowly but surely arrive at the top performing ads within the ad stack you're deploying. And those ones are going to get you the cheapest results. So the cheapest cost per conversion. That's what we're looking for here. Okay. So ultimately, let's set it up at $40. If you don't have the $40 to spend per day, that's fair enough. Just set it at a lower amount, whatever works for you. But obviously, when it comes to Google, we just want more data. Now, here's where you can get specific about location. So if you want here, before we get to that, you obviously have YouTube networks. So this is essentially the YouTube network. So it says video partners on the display network. So this is essentially anything outside of YouTube, okay? You don't have to have that selected. You could deselect that, okay? So that it's just YouTube videos and just YouTube search results where your stuff's gonna appear, okay? But if you wanted, you could also, you know, do the video partners on the display network. I'm gonna disable that because that's not what I wanna target. Now, locations. This is where you can get very granular, right? So you can actually type in, let's just say, for example, Ontario, Canada, right? Now I know, like, let's just say you're a mortgage agent, realtor, you know, you're obviously licensed in a specific spot. You know, you can't necessarily, you know, process deals in, BC if you're licensed in, I don't know, for example, Toronto, right? You won't be able to do that. So obviously you want to make sure you target the exact place where you can operate. Now, this is very important because we are going to be doing layering with our audiences here. So yes, they need to live in Ontario, but we're going to be choosing specific complementary and competitor level channels and topics to be targeting so that these people live in Ontario and they are who we want them to be. So if we want them to be a business owner, we're going to target that. If we want them to be anything else specifically, we're going to target that, right? How it works with YouTube ads, and just so you're aware, is you need to have that hook coming in terms of the ad platform. Then you need to educate them. Then you need that call to action, right? So, and we're going to go over specifically, what we need in terms of audience layering. I'm just going to get through the rest of this here, and then we're going to continue this campaign here, and we're going to launch a campaign together. So in terms of, the actual education side of it, like I said, the golden nuggets, you have to put in something there that they're going to learn. And this has to be anywhere between 2 and 4 minutes, right? So 30 to 60 seconds, the hook. Okay. Some hooks are longer than others. You can make it more visually appealing. You can make it just you clapping. I'll show you my own ads. I'll show you some examples in a second. But then after that, you educate them for a bit, show them something new. Maybe it's a new strategy on how to get appointments. Maybe it's a new strategy on how to pull out equity from their home. Maybe it's a new strategy on how to, qualify for a mortgage, what they need preemptively, what kind of things they need on their checklist. Maybe it's, an overview of group benefits and, specifically how the group benefit system will work and what they need to look out for that. Something new, right? They need to be learning something new. Maybe they can gain some financial incentive from their group benefits that they didn't already know, or maybe they can increase the conversion of their website and they didn't already know that, and you taught them something quick on how to do that, right? But ultimately, a unique insight needs to come after the hook. So you're reeling them in with the hook, you're capturing their attention, and then you're educating them quickly with some unique insight that you're trying to make pretty unique and mutually exclusive to you, right? And then after that, you then ask for the call to action. You ask for them to take the next step, which is either book that call, or, click the link below and, join me on the free web class, or join me on the free webinar, or join me on the 30-minute training, or the video sales letter, or join me on, watch the video on the next page and schedule a call with my team, right? It'll only take 2 seconds. So click that link below, go on to the next page, put your name and your email, and go ahead and book yourself a call. And I will personally see you on the other side, and I will give you a free investment property purchase analyzer for booking a call. Just because you booked a call, I'm going to throw that in completely free of charge. And that's a spreadsheet where you're able to put in any investment property you want. You're able to see the return on investment. You're able to see all the stats around each investment property. Just because you booked a call with me, click that link below. Just because you booked a call with me, I'm going to throw in a free purchase analyzer. Okay. That's a good call to action. Does that make sense? Where it's enticing them, you're incentivizing them to go ahead and schedule that call. It basically elicits the desired action from the view on YouTube, right? And gets them to get off of YouTube and into your sales funnel, right? This is also 30 to 60 seconds of call to action time, right? And remember, like I said, there's no need for any fancy, crazy media production. We don't need to do anything crazy here. Just hop on Zoom, change your background, or don't even change your background. Just hop on Zoom or get a Loom account and record your screen and just explaining a slide deck. Like your YouTube ad could literally just be you going through a slide deck similar to this one here. For example, I could be like running a YouTube ad right now. This is a search engine optimization. This is one of our sales decks for search engine optimization. I could literally be running a YouTube ad right now as we speak, exactly how you see it here. I'll clap to hook people in, and then I'll run through my little sales deck demo here. I'll explain to people something quickly. I'll make a Google search, and I'm providing them a unique insight. So I might search up, mortgage agent, leads or whatever. Then I might explain to them how they can install something called Keywords Everywhere, which is a tool that gives them some keyword suggestions. As you can see on the right-hand corner of my screen, I have some keyword suggestions, right, on the right-hand corner of my screen. So this is like a quick, unique insight that I can teach people who know about SEO, who are entrepreneurs looking to buy more SEO. I can teach these people specifically how they might go about doing keyword research and finding alternatives for their keywords. And then I can go back to my slide deck, explain the rest of what I need to explain, and then say, okay, please book a call with me, by clicking the link below. And that's it. I end the video. That's it, right? So it's as simple as that. I could run through a bunch of case studies. Here's some of, SEO case studies that we've serviced some clients, right? So I can run through these clients that we've helped in the past, and I can show the exact keywords that we've helped rank them for and all these things. And then I can say, yep, please book a call below. That's it. It doesn't need to be, I don't need to hire anyone to come film me or anything like that. I can film myself. You just need an iPhone. If you really want to get fancy with it, get an iPhone and get a gimbal. Okay. Gimbal is a very simple tool. It allows you to stabilize the video when you're shooting. So if you, and look, you have to be creative with your YouTube ads. So definitely try lots of things. Try doing it, having someone film you, try doing it on your screen, make a few ads, right? Make like 3 to 5 ads, write them out beforehand, plan them all out according to the hook, the education stage and the call to action stage. Make sure you write it all out perfectly, and then make 3 to 5 options and then try them all, right? You ultimately need to see what sticks, but here's what a gimbal is, right? That's all a gimbal is, you see? So this gimbal, you can get one for cheap. I mean, some of them are more expensive than others. This one's an electronic one. It's going to stabilize the, the phone. You put the phone in there and that's it. And then you just film using the gimbal. You could have someone else film you, it's a really easy thing to do. It's nothing crazy. And so ultimately, because here's the reality, like, one thing you'll notice is that there's going to be a lot of people that are advertising very professionally. So look, let me click on this ad, for example. Let me click on this video.
With MailChimp,
you see this? I'm going to stop right here. You see how this is MailChimp, and you see how this is a creative video, and this is not shot on an iPhone. This is not shot on a gimbal. This is a very high quality production video. Raise your hand if you see what I mean by it being high quality production. It's not something that was just shot in someone's basement, right? It's obviously something that was created. They had to pay for it. Look at it, right? This is what I like to call animated motion graphics, right? Motion graphics. It's some designer had to put this together, right? Motion graphics. They had to create this in Adobe After Effects or Adobe Design or something like that. So this is an example of a high quality video ad. You don't need to do this, okay? Don't do this, if anything, for your first couple ads. Eventually, you'll get to the stage where it makes sense to scale up and reinvest in your ad platforms. But really, most of the people you're going to see don't actually create ads like this. Most people on YouTube don't do this. Only the large companies like MailChimp or Monday.com or TD Bank or all these big companies, they're going to run ads like this. And remember, what's crazy? What's funny though? These ads don't even do as well. These people who are investing in some crazy ads, they're putting a lot of time into these, big budgets, big spend into these ads. They're not even doing as well. These ads don't convert as well. The ads that convert the best are the organic looking ads. When people believe, when they're watching something, and people don't even believe that they're watching something.
My last real estate update.
When someone believes that they're not watching an ad, that's the best form of ad. Okay? That is the best form of ad. So your goal is to not make it fancy schmancy. Your goal is to just have an iPhone and a gimbal and create something very simple, or just record it on your screen. But you have to understand that it is an iteration process. It's not something that's going to be a one size fits all. You're not just going to, marketing, you're throwing a bunch of balls against the wall, seeing what sticks ultimately, and whatever sticks, you want to double down on that. You want to scale that, and you want to basically iterate and tweak that until it works the best. The ones that don't do well, you'll see in the data very quickly. One day will go by, you're spending $40, CAD or $40 US. After one day, you'll know if an ad is not good or not. It should be getting conversions with 1 day's worth of ad spend, right? So you'll be able to cut the losers and scale the winners. The ones that do well, that have good data, or at least preferable data and profitable data, where you spend $1 and you're getting $5 out, and your funnel makes sense. That's essentially what you want. You want to scale those winners. You want to cut the fat. You want to trim the fat, trim the losers, the ones that don't work, the one that clearly is you're spending too much or it's not profitable. It doesn't make sense according to your funnel. And you have to plan out your funnel, plan out all the conversion rates of your funnel too. So you have to simulate this stuff, right? If I send 1,000 people from YouTube ads, for example, from YouTube to, let's just say, my funnel, for example, right? If I send 1,000 people from my funnel, what's the conversion rate? So let's just, plan that out for a second, right? You can do it using multiple different tools like Funnelytics and stuff like that. But, for example, this would be a basic way to do it. Like, let's just say I was running YouTube ads, okay? And I was running YouTube ads and I was running traffic. And these people from this, this traffic that was coming in, I was sending them to a sales funnel landing page, right? Like a VSL landing page with book a call on it, right? Book a call functionality on it. And that's all I was doing. You have to plan this out. So look, if I send these 1,000 people, right? I have to say, okay, if I'm going to send 1,000 people here, from here to here, and then let's just say my landing page over here, this was supposed to convert at, let's just say 10%. So 10% of the people that come here are going to book a call. Make sense? So if I send 1,000 people here from the YouTube ads, I send 1,000 people to the VSL page and 10% of them book a call, that means I'm going to get 100 booked calls. Remember, this is, let's just say over a 30-day period, you're simulating, let's just say you're simulate 30-day, you want to do 30-day ad campaign simulation, right? That way you can determine how much you want to spend, you know, based on what your average clicks are. So you want to make a quick simulation. So YouTube ads, I'm sending 1,000 people here, 10% are going to click. You know, that would be, you know, ultimately, let's just say, that would be 100 booked calls, which is great. And then let's just say of the 100 booked calls that came in, right? Let's just say booked calls of the 100 booked calls that came in. Let's just say 1,000. I'll make this clear for you guys. 1,000 people came in, 10% of them converted. That's 100 booked calls on the calendar over a 30-day period. And let's just say that we close on average. This one looks like a funnel, so we're going to use this one. Let's just say we close on average 30%, or no, let's just say you guys are not the best closers. Let's just say that we're doing 20% on average, right? Sometimes we're gonna have 30%. 30% is a close rate that you want to hang at and you want to be at all times. But let's just say the average organization closes around 20%. So of the 100 booked calls, you have 20% closing. That is an average of. Let me see if they have a money sign in here. Money. Okay, they do, great. So that will be about 20 new customers. Does that make sense? Can we get a hands raised if that makes sense to you guys? So this is what I mean by planning your funnel. So this would mean that 20 customers come in, right? So this is you planning a funnel out, right? So you're going to send 1,000 people from these YouTube ads, okay? They're going to come into your VSL, to your landing page, and they're going to convert and book a call about 10% of the time. So that's going to translate over a 30-day ad campaign. That's going to translate into 100 booked calls, because 10% of 1,000 is 100. And of the 100 booked calls, 20% of those end up turning to customers, because you have to get them on a demo, right? So you have to get these people on a sales call. So I might even go like, I might even go like this, drag this over, and put another step here, and just say, let's go with call, and then we're going to put in a phone icon here where people are going to come in as a call. This is a really weird phone icon. Let's see if we can reduce the size here. Interesting. Let's see. Here we go. Let's use this cell phone, right? So 100 book calls. Then what you got to do is you got to actually do the demo. So you got to actually take the call. So let's call this sales demo, right? So once you take the call, after that, you're going to close about 20% of those people. And then those will turn into 20 customers, okay? Of the 100, right? So now you have to ask yourself, how much am I buying this traffic for, right? How much is it going to cost me to get 1,000 people to click onto my page and actually visit my page, right? Because that would mean, in order for 1,000 people to actually click on the page, that would mean how many people would need to view the ad? Probably about, I would say, you only pay for true views. So let's just say for 1,000 clicks, you had, I don't know, probably about 5,000 true views, right? So to get 1,000 clicks, you needed 5,000 people to watch 30 seconds. Remember what a true view was, right? A true view is someone watching 30 seconds of the entire ad, right? So, and then of the people that watched the full 30 seconds, let's just say that 1,000 of those actually clicked onto your landing page, okay? And actually 10% booked the call, then 10% had the sales demo, and then 20% of the people that had the sales demo, 20% of those people turned into customers because you closed the deal and you followed up until they did. So that would be your funnel, similarly, right? And obviously there's retargeting ads, there's a few other things. This is a basic version, but this was so you understand the ideology behind this, and you understand that it's an iteration process and that the economics need to make sense, right? So, you know, this, you have to account and like, look, if I simulate this, this is a 10% conversion rate, right? What if this landing page was converting at 15%? How would that change the simulation, right? That 10% is no longer 100 booked calls, right? That's actually 150 booked calls now, right? Because now it's 115% of the 1,000 people converted, and then 20% of the 150 would be 0.2 times 150. That comes out to 30 customers, not 20. So even just a 5% conversion rate differential is going to bring you 10 additional customers, according to this simulation, right? So, and that's what you need to understand. And now look, let's just say you close at 22%, right? You don't close at 20%, you close at 22%. That's why it's very important you track, things like your close rate, things like your show rate, right? How many of your appointments are showing up? You need to have these things tracked so that when you run your ads, you have all the economics in front of you and you can actually scale according to the economics and you can determine, okay, what's a good ad and what's a bad ad, right? Because the reason why we just built this whole thing out just now is because we were on the topic of discussing, scaling the winning ads and cutting the underperforming or the losing ads. That's what we were just mentioning, right? So that's why I mentioned this as the funnel, because you need to know the economics of your funnel first before you can even determine what data is going to determine bad ads and what data is going to determine good ads, right? Because it has to be cheap enough, the traffic has to be cheap enough for you to close at that 20% rate, for you to drive enough customers to be paying for all that YouTube ad spend, plus a lot of return on investment on top, plus another 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand on top, right? That's the whole point, is to make profit and money. So the economics need to make sense. You need to make sure you map out and simulate those economics and then even put them in a spreadsheet if you have to, and then really track everything granularly every day. Like I'll go over another spreadsheet with you. We use this specific tracker to track all the outflows. Here, I'll show you the template. This is the deal flow tracker template. Hold on. Okay, so this would be the template. So we use this internally, but this is one without real data. So see how we're tracking everything. So for example, in January, this is all dummy data. None of this is real data. But let's just say, see, for example, in November, what we would have here, this is a spreadsheet that we use. And look, we're tracking the outbound calls, how many we're making per day, every day for 31 days of the month. And this is like not real data. You see how November has 184, so does December, right? 184, it's the same data. So this is all just dummy data. So don't worry about this. This is a template. But this is for you guys to use, right? Because ultimately, if you're tracking the outbound calls you're making per day or the SDRs making per day, you're tracking the outbound emails that are being made per day. You're tracking the outbound text messages that are going out per day. You're tracking the outbound LinkedIn messages that are going out per day. You can also make a new column in here and track the amount of YouTube ad clicks, right? And that could be another form of outflow that you're tracking, right? And then ultimately you want to be able to track these outflows, because really every day that you track the outflows, you're going to track how many calls were booked. You see here? So this is the next line, tracking the calls being booked, right? So, and that attributes all the outflow activity directly to the calls being booked activity, right? And with the calls booked, you also want to track calls completed, right? Because that gives you your show rate, okay? And so you want to have all these things tracked, and then you're going to be able to get your revenue broken down, your sales metrics broken down by outflow. So for example, let's just say you made 46 grand in 1 month. 46 grand in 1 month divided by, let's just say 5,000 outflows for the month, because you did this many outflows. That means you're making pretty much $8 an outflow, right? Which is great. And we'll get into this spreadsheet a lot deeper later, but for the sake of actually ensuring you understand this stuff, you have to track this stuff. You have to understand the economics of your funnel, and then you'll be able to scale it. So, okay. Now what we're going to do is get to the actual target audience here. We're going to get to, building this campaign out. So take a look. So we said here, we're going to target in Ontario specifically. You can target by language here as well. We're going to say English for now. Inventory type, there's lots of inventory types. You have limited inventory, expanded inventory. So this is pretty much like sensitive content. This is like appropriate for most brands, and this is like sensitive. This is like essentially like excluded content, right? So, a lot of profanity. This is moderate profanity, and this is like excessive profanity. So this would be like limited. This would be, for kids, for example, and this would be for, people that, there's no filter, right? There's no filter on the video. They post about anything they want. We recommend advertising on this, which is the standard inventory, okay? After that, you're going to have exclusions, right? So you can obviously exclude embedded YouTube videos. I don't like to advertise on embedded videos, because embedded videos are videos that are on other websites, YouTube videos that are like embedded on other websites. I try to not do that. The reason being is because we want them on YouTube. Remember, when someone's on YouTube, what are they doing? They're ready to spend, the 27 minutes that this video, has in it, right? They're ready to spend a lot more time if they're on the platform. That's why I'm going to go ahead and exclude embedded videos, because those people are not on YouTube. Okay. Now, as well, these don't matter. I would say just don't worry too much about these and just go ahead and skip to the next section. So site link extensions, you can add these if you want. What these are, I'll quickly explain these. So if I just go back and scroll up, you see where it says, this is the ad here, and then it says view achievements, about us, in the media. So those there are called site link extensions. Okay, add link extensions. Okay, these are the additional extensions you could put on your ad if you want to, like, let's just say you're a mortgage broker, right? You want to put a mortgage calculator here, or you want to put like a testimonial section here, or you want to get a 5% first-time home buyer incentive, down here as an extension, right? And then you want your main visit site, right? So there's a few. I don't really do any of that, so I don't really put any site link extensions because we don't really run too many Discover ads. We're just going to do the in-stream one. So you're going to need a video for this. And ultimately, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure you see here where it says responsive, and then there's standard. Okay. So responsive is basically it's going to respond to all the device types, whether that be mobile, tablet, desktop, etc. Standard is the in-stream skippable ads. Okay. So these are the ones you want to select if you're going to run the in-stream skippable ads, which are their hyper-converting, hyper-performing ones. Let's create an ad group name. Let's call it in-stream skippable deal flow VSL book calls Ontario, and then we're going to do /competition. Okay, because we're going to target competitor groups. Okay. Down here, you're going to have your demographics. So basically, you're able to select your age group. So obviously, if you're targeting people younger, you're going to want to target people younger. If you're targeting people older, target people older. That's all done here. So you can do household income. So household income is nice. Obviously, if some people don't have, bad household income, that might make sense in certain situations. Increased household income, that might make sense in other situations, right? Parental status, if you're advertising something for that reason, that might make sense. These other ones, we don't really go ahead and play around too much with this because, like I said, I just want to have a business owner. For me, I'm working with people who own service businesses, so service entrepreneurs. So here are the main sort of target types that we use, right? So we're going to use, essentially, there's two ways to target people, right? Who they are, so who the people are, and then what they want, right? So what they're watching, right? So who they are would be, okay, this stuff, like how old are you, what's your job title, where do you live, right? That kind of stuff, that's who you are. Now, what you want and what you watch is the second audience layer. So here's the ones that apply to who they are. So you have affinity audiences, you have in-market audiences. This is like the secret sauce. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. Custom affinity, custom URL affinity. That's another secret sauce. This is like insane. The power of this is absolutely insane. We're going to go over this in a minute. And then custom intent. And then as well, and that's targeting who they are. And then targeting by what they want, that's specifically, keywords, broad keywords, YouTube channel keywords, competitor keywords, topics, and placements. Okay, we're going to go over those as well. And this, when I say placements here, we're specifically talking about video placements. Okay. So let's go over this. So when it comes to the actual audiences, so you're going to have a lot of different audiences here that you can search by. And you can also create your own audiences, but this is people that Google has a lot of data on you, right? So Google knows what websites you're visiting, knows, what videos you're watching, what, blogs you're reading, like literally they know everything about you, what you're typing into the search engine. So they know what kind of audience you are, what you're looking for, right? So in terms of the actual, different parameters that you can go about here, you could actually create your own custom audience as well. But let's just say we wanted to target, let's just say real estate, right? So let's just say real estate investors, or here, look. So you see where it says in market, Raise your hands if you guys are able to see the word in-market audiences there. I just want to make sure you guys are able to read that. Okay, solid. All right. Now, what does the word in-market mean? In-market literally means they are in the market for this thing. Okay. So in-market audience for real estate, what does that mean? That means this person, okay, up here who we said lives in Ontario, right? Up here, right? We said Ontario. So this person in Ontario, okay, I'm going to target them with an in-stream skippable ad with this age group, okay, if they're in the market for buying real estate. Isn't that powerful? Now, I know if you're a mortgage agent or you're a realtor, you absolutely love this. If they're in the market for real estate, or if they're in the market for houses for sale, or if they're in the market for residential properties, right? Or if they're in the market for pre-construction and new builds, right? You can literally target them by what they are buying. So Google knows if you're searching for, let's just say, Calgary apartment rental, right? Like if I search Calgary apartment rental, Google now has data on me that I just searched that, okay? So what that means is that Google knows I'm now in the market for this apartment rental. So that when I target, I could literally go here where it says commercial properties, there's for rent, residential properties for rent, or apartments for rent. Google just put me on this audience, right? Because I live in Ontario and I just searched, or sorry, I searched Calgary there, but let's just say I searched Ontario instead of Calgary. Let's just say Ontario, right? If I live in Ontario and I Google search apartment rentals, boom, I'm now in this in-market audience. Simple. And it might not be after one search, it might have to be after a couple searches, but Google literally knows if you're searching for a home, right? It's insane what's possible, okay? So in-market audiences are absolutely an insane secret sauce, okay? So you can find like residential real estate investors, people are in the market for real estate, people are in the market for website design, people are in the market for marketing services, like literally anything. Like Google has data on every single thing, right? So you see where it says custom intent audiences, that's custom intent, right? We want to look for in market, right? So remember we said in market. It's a different audience here, okay? Email marketing services. People are in the market for email marketing services, meaning they are looking for that as a thing. People are in the market for SEO services. They want to buy SEO services. Google has that data. So let Google do its thing. Let YouTube do its thing, okay? So that's the first and one of the best ways to target YouTube ads, okay? Another insane way to target YouTube ads, okay, is using your placements, okay? So video placements down here. You're actually able to target people by specific videos, right? So if I go here, down here to placements, you're able to go here and say, okay, look, let me find a YouTube channel. Let me go over to, let me search up a YouTube video here. Let's just go on YouTube and type in here, this one here. We searched up real estate investing. We're gonna stick to the same example. You see here the Rich Dad channel, right? The Rich Dad, Poor Dad channel. So this is the Rich Dad channel, right? So then this is this one video here, okay? 5 successful real estate investing tips for 2020. I'm gonna grab this title. I'm literally gonna go into YouTube and I'm gonna enter this title. That's it. And then it should show up the video. So let's see that here. 5 successful real estate investing tips. Okay, here it is. Boom. See that? The Rich Dad channel. That's the exact video. So let's go here and just make sure that's the exact thumbnail. See the thumbnail? He's got his thumb up in there. Okay, boom. He's got his thumb up in there. Same concept. You're just going to click on the video and now you can run your ads on this specific video, which is crazy, right? But the reason why I don't recommend you do that, okay, as a targeting parameter is because you're going to have to do this for thousands of videos. You're going to have to find, over 500 videos that you want to deploy your ads on. You have to make sure that those videos specifically are getting more views as well. So it's not just an outdated video that has 1 million views on it, but no one's watching it now, right? You want to find the right video. So that's why I say, don't get too crazy with this. I mean, there's a few automation tools you can use to really automate the process of finding you the best video placements, but I would say don't really use video placements as much unless you're advanced. What you want to be using is your custom URL affinity. Okay, I'm gonna go through that in a minute. And you want to be using in-market audiences. I find those to be the best, okay? And then you also want to target channels, right? So if you go over here, you see here, if I go back, I don't have to target YouTube videos. I can actually target YouTube channels. So we said the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? So the Rich Dad, let's just Google that. And we want to go to YouTube channels. and then we're going to type in Rich Dad, or sorry, what was the name again? It was actually the Rich Dad channel. So let's put that in here. We'll go over here and we'll type in the Rich Dad. Okay, and that should, let me delete a couple here. Okay, why is that not populating? Okay, here we go. There's some YouTube channels. Let's put a C in there, and then it should populate more. See, and then you kind of have to go through. There's so much data on YouTube that you just have to kind of go through it slowly there. You type in the Rich, and then it should work. I'm not sure why mine's glitching out. But essentially, you're able to actually target channels directly. I think it's because, hold on, you're able to actually target channels directly. It's nice because let's just say, like, for example, in my niche, one of my biggest competitors is a guy named Neil Patel, right? So for him, he's got like almost 1 million followers. So for him, this is his channel, right? If it doesn't pop up, you could also grab the actual link to the channel, and you could actually just throw in the link to the channel, okay? And just paste that directly, and then the channel link will appear right there, right? So let's try that with the Rich Dad Poor Dad example, just to make sure you guys see that that works. So I'm gonna click on his channel, go right to his channel, grab the URL from his channel, and just paste it right in the box. Okay, and then his channel should populate. There it is. Boom. Okay, so I can run all my videos on his channel. And look how many videos he has, right? This is his channel. Imagine my advertisement on every one of this guy's videos, right? If he was a proper competitor and he actually was a marketer, right? This guy's not a marketer. He's I think he's a personal finance guy, but you know, if he was a marketer, right, that might make sense because now I'm only hitting people in Ontario, right, who are within my audience. They're Ontario-based people who have the intent I want them to have, who are in the market for these things, who are in the market for professional services, who are in the market for marketing services, right? Or who are, you know, starting a business soon, or just, you know, created a business, right? These are, you know, styles of in-market audiences that I would choose for myself. And I would layer those in-market audiences with the demographics, with the targeting demographics here, like age and location, and then as well add a specific what they're interested in layer in, right? So this is who they are. So from here, okay, upwards is who they are, right? You're essentially targeting by who they are, right? Now down below the age category here downwards, you're targeting by what they want, right? So who they are and what they want, right? That's exactly, you need to narrow down by who they are and what they want. And you will be able to have a crazy, crazy winning YouTube ad strategy, okay? Now there's topics also, it's very generic. Like I said, just stick to here's one I want to show you, which is custom affinities. This is crazy. So you see, if I scroll up, you see where it says create your own custom audience. Now this is where the pros come in, and this is where you can really, really start squeezing the lemon here with YouTube and start driving as many predictable, high quality leads on autopilot. Once you get your funnel set up, you literally go create a custom audience here. It's going to populate an audience, okay? Now, you're going to name this, and let's just say you want to target people who visited a specific website. Remember I told you that, you know, anything you visit online, quite literally anything, is being tracked by Google. Even if I go to realtor.ca, right? Let's just say I go to realtor.ca, right? I'm on this website here, realtor.ca. It doesn't matter what I do on this website. The fact that I'm on realtor.ca, I could literally target people on YouTube. Can you believe this, guys? Can you, I gotta pause here, right? Like you have to believe this for a second, right? You can target people who have visited realtor.ca on YouTube, right? Like anytime they visit YouTube. If they visited realtor.ca, you can target them on YouTube. Can you believe that? That is insane, right? Think about how many people are buying homes, visiting realtor.ca, looking at condos, looking at properties, looking at listings, looking at whatever. And that's just real estate. That's just realtor.ca. What if they were on clickfunnels.com, right? That's another thing. Anyone who goes to clickfunnels.com, I can target them with my ads. Can you believe that? Right? That's insane. Now, how do we do it? You see where it says people with any of these interests or purchase intentions? You're going to click that instead of the ones listed here. You're going to delete everything you see here. Boom, delete it all. Delete. Google's going to suggest a bunch of stuff, and you're just going to delete it all. People with any of these interests or purchase intentions, you're going to call this visited realtor.ca. Let's just say this was the custom audience. You're a mortgage agent or you're a realtor and you want to hit home buyers. You want to hit people who are looking, who are in the market, literally in the market, right? You can hit people who visited realtor.ca, or if I was a marketer or a consultant, I might, or a coach, I might want to hit people that know about clickfunnels.com. So they've went to clickfunnels.com. So I'm going to name this audience visited clickfunnels.com. And then all I do is I literally go like this, www.clickfunnels.com. And then I literally go enter. That's it. Boom. Now look on the side, guess what? Look what it shows me on the side. It shows me, you know, the average person according to this target, this custom target. Because remember, Google runs everything. Google runs the internet. They know what websites you're on. They know exactly what you're doing through Google Analytics and all this stuff. So here's the thing. This is going to give me audience insights based on the parameters I'm putting here. So people with clickfunnels.com, I'm reaching anywhere between 500 and 1 million people on average, 71% male, you know, age group 25 to 34, right? Parental status, non-parent, right? Topics, here's the topics that usually these people, you know, fall under. And that's it, you create the audience. As simple as that. Like if I wanted this to be realtor.ca, I would literally just, I wouldn't type in realtor.com, I'd go www.realtor.ca, specifically the .ca property, right? Because I'm in Canada, right? And I want to target Canadian like home buyers who have visited realtor.ca but live in Ontario. So they're still within my licensing jurisdiction. It's crazy, guys. Raise your hand right now. I need some hands being raised right now if you see the value of that. All right, sweet. Okay. Now, obviously, Realtor.ca is a much bigger platform. A lot of people are on it. So Realtor.ca, you know, it's going to have 10 million to 50 million views. You know, obviously, look at that. Now it's mostly female, right? Clearly, that's mostly female, right? Because people, you know, on average, there's a lot of female people that actually look for the listings all the time. You know, females are constantly in the market. It's just, you know, there's a lot of realtors that are female. There's a lot of people that are in the real estate market that are female. So it's just insane what's like. This is us just doing a 5-10 minute targeting discovery right now. Just basic overview of targeting on YouTube. You guys have no idea what's possible on YouTube. Like it's almost astonishing what's possible on YouTube from a targeting perspective. And you could create your own targets. You don't even need to rely on these in-market audiences, right? Even though they're great and that's all you need is the in-market audience. Let Google do its thing. Like just target the in-market audiences, layer that with demographics, and then layer that with what they are looking for, which is the channels that they're watching and the research they're doing, right? So the videos they're watching, the channels they're watching, you know, the different things that they're consuming. You want to stack that with who they are and if they're in the market for certain things, or if they, you know, have a custom interest that or they visited a specific website, right? So it's interesting. It's very interesting. But remember, when it comes to YouTube ads, to be specific and to be crazy good and do well, you have to overlap. So it's not just targeting people who they are. It's both. You have to target people by who they are and then layer that with what they want, okay, by what they're watching, right? And we just went over how to do that. So does anyone have any questions on how to do that? Put it in the chat now so we'll make sure you understand. Keep in mind, you can also target by keywords as well. So I can literally type in real estate investing as a keyword, right? So anyone who's, like I said, anyone who's here typing in real estate investing, let me just press enter, right? I'm going to target people who have this interest. So my ad could appear, you know, on any video, could be any channel, could be any of these channels here. It could be literally all of them actually, right? It's going to just appear on all of them because it's a topic / keyword, okay? And that's what you want to do for keywords. You don't really necessarily need to do this. I'd recommend start off by doing it by channel and start off by doing it through in-market audiences and layering that with demographics, and you will see a crazy ROI. Spend $40 a day, have a really good funnel, make a good VSL. We went over last week how to make a quality VSL, or was it the week before? I forget. But ultimately, you should have a really quality VSL. And then look, guys, topics. So you can actually you can filter by topics, and then there's subtopics too. So like finance, right? I can go finance and I can go credit and lending, right? And even credit and lending has a subtopic, right? So you can do, you know, debt management, loans, right? Credit reporting and monitoring, debt collection and repossession, right? Credit cards, right? There's like you could do that, but that's like broad. That's really broad, and it's not going to be specific enough. You know, and it's not going to have the intent you need, and it's not going to be exactly visual enough to hook them in and win over their trust, right? So remember, you have to educate people, you have to hook people in, and you have to convert them, right? You have to create about 3 to 5 ads to start. Do it by screen recording yourself. Don't go crazy with it. But ultimately, let's just say I'm not even going to put any targeting in here. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the targeting blank for now and see if this is going to let me create. So let's go ahead and select a video. So I can go ahead and upload my video when I run my ad. So it's going to ask me to upload the placement. So I'm going to go ahead and select a file. Let's go ahead and run a specific ad. So let me go here. Let's go here. I'm going to grab 2 ads. Let's run this ad. And this is actually just, you can even run your VSL too. Like your VSL can actually run as an ad. So it's going to force you to upload it to YouTube. So just call this unlisted ad for testing purposes. Okay. That's what I'm going to call this. And then I'm going to say thumbnails, whatever, playlist, whatever. No, this is not made for kids. Show more. Over here, you're going to have tags and all that. You're going to have recording date, standard YouTube license, allow embedding. What you're going to want to do is make sure that it's unlisted. So visibility, that's this section here. So you're going to click on next. Don't worry about this. You could add end screens. You could add whatever you want. These things are great to add on your video in case you want to have people click and whatnot. I'm not adding any of that. I'm just going to go ahead and click next. And then here where it says save and publish, I'm going to go private or unlisted. Okay. Anyone with the link can watch your video, or only you can choose the people that want to watch. I'm just going to go unlisted and then go ahead and click save. So now no one can just watch this from my channel. It's just, I uploaded this specifically for advertising purposes. So no one can actually watch this. No one can access this. No one can Google search this and find this. This is an ad that I uploaded to YouTube as an unlisted video so that I can go ahead and upload it here and paste the YouTube video URL to the unlisted video so that I can go ahead and create the campaign and launch it. Does that make sense? Okay. Are we on the same page, guys? So now since this is going to take a while, what I'll do is I'll skip the whole, let me show you, the creation of uploading the ad and whatnot. And I will go ahead, I want to give you some examples. So I want to give you an understanding of like a good hook and all that. This is processing. So while that one's processing, I'll go ahead and upload another one. So I'm going to upload 2 video ads here just to give you an understanding of the types of ads that you can create. So here's another one that I did see. This is a video of me clapping.
My team and I put together a 5-step customer acquisition system. Okay. Now what this is designed to do is.
So this is a hook, right? So it's just a video that's going to go boom. My team and I put together a 5-step customer acquisition system. Go ahead if you want to swipe up and learn more about how this is going to apply to your business. You can book more calls, right? So you just get right into it. Bottom line, you might even show a calendar screenshot of you booking more calls. And then you want to show your unique insight. Then you want to talk about your unique insight, show them how they can book more calls, give them a quick snippet, 1 to 2 minutes, teach them something new, then ask for the call. Okay, that's the format. So I'm going to upload this one as well as an unlisted video. Call this test unlisted for advertising. And then I'm going to go down. No, it's not made for kids. Next, I'm going to go next again, and make it unlisted, simple, and then save. That's it. And then close. Now, when I go back, I have this other one that I created as unlisted. I'm going to go ahead and go like this, get shareable link to that other one I uploaded. Go to my ad platform here on YouTube. It's simply just paste the link. That's it. And it's going to grab my video. Do you see that? So it's going to grab my 4-minute and 30-second video. It's going to add the in-stream skippable little button there. It's going to ask me for my URL. So I might push them to dealflowacademy.io. That will be the page that I send them to. This will be the call to action, will be either book a call, right? If it's a retargeting ad and you're showing them testimonials. If it's not a retargeting ad and you want to get them to just consume some content or convert, you could say, access free watch training, right? Or it could be like view the training, right? With YouTube ads, they only let you do 10 characters, so it's very small. So you just want to make, view webinar even, right? Or view visit training, or visit master or web class, right? or not even visit, you can do join web class, right? Or join, webinar, etc. Right? So you just want to make sure it makes sense. The call to action, you can leave it as visit website as well. So that's one you can do as well, but ultimately they give you these guidelines here. You don't have to stay within them, but you can ultimately just go ahead and pump your headline. This would be a headline, talking specifically about, what they want them to do. So, access your free webinar on XYZ here. All right. Or you could say free video training. And then you could say, you could say watch now to be your call to action, right? Or view now, or book now, or schedule. But ultimately, you want to have your call to action. You want to have your unlisted video. The reason why this is still showing as gray is because my video has not finished processing on YouTube. It's still processing. So see that? It's still processing, still taking time. So it's not going to show the thumbnails yet. But once it does, it'll show on there. And then all I got to do is I can upload a banner if I want, and that banner would go here. So that looks a lot nicer. You should do that. I'm going to skip that for now, just because I don't have one created for the sake of this this training and this example here. But you can actually go ahead and upload any potential banner you want. So we have lots of them, but for example, here on my YouTube channel over here, I actually have a banner. So if I go to my channel, I might want to add a banner like this, right? See this banner? So I might want to go right click, save this image, and then just upload that right here under my video. So that blue banner will appear and will look nicer. Does that make sense? So you want everything to kind of piece together and look nicer, right? And blend in as this corporate person who's been advertising for hundreds of years, right? That's your goal. But you also want to be organic, you want to be natural, and you want to make sure that the ad hooks people in, educates people, and gets them to the next step, which is book that call. But essentially what you do is after you upload that in there, you can actually call this ad, just call it, the VSL traffic, cold traffic ad number 1, right? You're running traffic to your VSL, right? And you're running them to either, some external landing page. You might be running them to an opt-in page similar to this, right? Where you're giving away some kind of free asset, right? You might be running them to your website or to some kind of VSL page, right? Where they're now being forced to watch a video that's anywhere between 4 and 6 minutes. You might be, running them to your testimonials page as a retargeting ad because they've already booked a call with you. So the people that have already booked a call with you, let's run ads at them, showing them testimonials this time, as opposed to asking them to watch a free training, etc. Right? So there's really lots you can do here. Just make sure that was effectively how to run an actual campaign. So that's how you run a cold traffic campaign. You obviously want to make sure that it's responsive. See here, it's going to show your call to action, right? So you want to make sure that everything looks good. It all has to look good. And when it looks good, makes sense, everything's good, go ahead and launch your ad. It shouldn't be that crazy, right? And then just pay attention to the stats, right? Now, before we go, we actually press go on that, you're going to want to hover over to tools and settings, go to conversions. I'm going to go ahead and leave this campaign because this is a dummy campaign, no need. Under conversion actions, you're going to want to click plus. There's going to be a little plus button that's going to appear here. So let's just wait for that. Right when that comes up, you're going to add your conversions, right? Because it's important that you retarget people on YouTube. And in order for you to do that effectively, you're going to need the appropriate conversions there. Let me refresh. This is taking a while. I'm not sure why. Okay, here we go. So you're going to click on the little plus here. Okay, now it's going to ask you what type of conversion do you want? Phone calls, right? Do you want to track when people are calling you? Do you want to track when people are visiting your website? This is the one we want, right? The website conversions, okay? And this is where you're going to create, just like we did with LinkedIn, just like we did with Facebook, you're going to create your conversion, right? So the category of conversion, let's just say you wanted to first track who's booking an appointment, right? So here, lead category, you have booked appointment as one of the options. So category booked appointment, you're going to call this booked appointment, right? Or book demo, you can call us whatever you want. The value, you can assign a value. So let's just say each time someone books a call with you, that's worth, let's say, $50 to you in Canadian dollars. Every call is worth about $50 to you, right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to put any conversion value in there. See here, this says don't use conversion value, but it's not recommended. So I would say do it, but I mean, you don't really have to. You're just really letting YouTube know how much this is worth to you so that they can benchmark how much it should cost you to get this, right? So if you leave that blank, you're not giving those details to YouTube, meaning that they don't actually have the details they need to determine how much to effectively run your conversions and determine low cost per conversion for you, right? Count, you want to select every time. So every time someone books a call, you want that tracked, of course. This is the click-through window. So you want to make sure this is selected at 30 days. Over here, view through conversion windows 1 day. Okay, so after 1 day of viewing, then it's going to capture the conversion. Include in conversion, select that. Attribution model, last click, that's correct. And then create and continue, simple. Okay, so you're going to create your conversions and then you're going to install the tag. So see, we did this last time, right? Install the tag, HTML. Here you go, the global site tag on your HTML pages. Just literally grab this copy here, go over to your actual funnel or wherever your website's hosted. Here's like an example of my funnel. So the people that come here, I'm going to go ahead and go to settings in my funnel. I'm going to go over to the header tracking code or even the body tracking code and just paste my code. That's it. I just pasted that code there. That's it. Done. Save. Okay. So that's done. So now it's across my entire funnel. If you're using ClickFunnels or high level, then this is what this would look like. Okay. So you're ultimately just pasting it there. Done. If you have a website, if you're in WordPress, you're going to go to your back end of your website, install it on your website, do what you got to do. But ultimately that code needs to be there and it's going to fire off of event page load. And then you're going to click next, and then you're going to go done. Now, every time this books an appointment, every time someone comes to my funnel, for example, this page here, if someone comes to my funnel and they go ahead and they book an actual call with me, then that will be tracked, right? But you want to make sure that it's tracked appropriately. I just did that quickly. So obviously, you know, when you create your conversion, you want to make sure the exact URLs are tracked. So here's another example. So I'll create another website conversion. You want to see here where it says, visited website can be one of them. Once you create your conversion though, let's just say visited website, page view. You want to create one for page view and just say here, call this one visited website, right? And you can even say just visited website or visited website / funnel. You want to also create a conversion for those people. Don't use conversion value. This is all the same, so this is great. Create and continue. So now you have these two. Install it. You make sure you install that code. Make sure you install, you track this new code, right? This is a new code that you're going to want to go ahead and put on your funnel. Once again, put it in the body code. Boom, done. Save. Problem solved. Go back here. Click done. Next. Okay, once that's done, then you're going to go over to your tools and settings. Audience Manager next. Audience Manager is great because Audience Manager allows you, and you're going to click plus again. Now see here, this is where you're going to actually determine your audience. You can upload a customer list if you have an email list, a bunch of different things, but let's just go to website visitors for now. And let's call this, this is where you set up your actual custom conversions. This is like, for example, people who booked a call, you're targeting people like this. So let's target people who booked a call, right? Or booked a demo. That's the lingo we use internally. So we're just gonna keep it consistent. People who booked a demo. Visit. So look at these options, list members, right? So because I installed that code previously over here across my whole funnel, now it's going to track people across every step of the funnel. So every single page in this funnel, where it's now going to track everyone, right? And what they're doing. So look, I can track visitors of a specific page, right? I can track people of a specific page who did not visit another page. This is what I want. This is the one I want, right? To track who booked a call. So take a look at this, because if people visited this page, right? Let's go to this page for a second, right? This is what the live page actually looks like. If people visited this specific page here, it's not loading so long. Let's close some tabs here. Let's reopen that. So if people visited this specific page here, that it doesn't mean they booked a call. Okay, if someone visited this page, it does not mean that they booked a call yet. So they have to go down here. See, there's no times for this month. They have to go view next month, and they actually have to go ahead and book that call in according to whatever's available for the team, right? So this has not been booked yet. The fact that they visited this page does not mean they booked the call, right? But what if they visited this page, which is the next page, right? What if they visited this page? right? Step 2. So step 1 was book your call, right? And once they do that and they actually schedule the event, it's going to redirect them to this page, right? This step 2 page, right? So in YouTube, if someone visited this page, this URL here, up here, dealflowacademy.io/survey, if someone visited this page but did not visit the next one, that means that they took that means they didn't take the action. So if someone visited this page here, right, but did not visit the next page, which is this one here, that means they did not book the call with me. But if someone did visit this page and did also visit this page, that means that they did book a call with me, because the only way to hit step 2, right, this page, survey page, the only way to hit this is by initially booking the call on this page. Make sense? So that's what you're going to do in YouTube. You're going to say, okay, look, I want to track people who visited the page that contains this URL. Okay, request demo. Okay, this is the page. I want to track people who visited this page. Okay, and the unvisited page. So the people that did not visit this page, okay, the survey page. So we're just going to grab the word survey. The URL contains the word survey. That's it. So if they visited request demo page, but they did not visit the survey page, that means they did not book a call with me. Okay. So we're going to change this, because this means people who visited opt-in page did not book a demo. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if that makes sense. I want to make sure this piece makes sense. Okay, good. That makes sense. Nice. All right. So once you create your custom audience, then you can go ahead and you can pre-fill, go for that. This 30 days, leave that. Audience description, no need, but that's pretty much it. So anyone who's visited this URL, but has not visited this, means I still need to hit them. They haven't booked a call with me yet, meaning I need to retarget them, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm creating an audience, okay? A new audience for people that have visited my opt-in page, but did not book a call, okay? So let's go create audience. Now that's created. Now I'm gonna create another one, right? Let's create another website visitor audience. This one we're gonna call people who booked a demo, right? Now we're going to say visitors of a page who did not visit another page. You don't need that anymore, because people who visited a specific, you could just say visited a page, okay? Because anyone who hit this page, scale up session, right? The survey page, anyone who hit this, the step 2 page, what does it mean? It means they've booked a call on the previous page, okay? So that means if I track people from this page, I'm only tracking people that book calls. So I don't need people who didn't visit another page. I just need visitors of a page, and then that's just this one page. So the people that have visited the survey page, okay, boom, it's classified as a booked call. Make sense? Okay, create audience. That's it. Those are the only ones you want. You can even create one for people that, who didn't fill your survey. So in which case, the next step in your funnel is after they fill the survey, it takes them to the testimonials page, right? So you could create another filter and say people who visited the survey page but did not visit the testimonials page, which is the next step after. And that will track all the people that still have not finished the survey, right? So ultimately, you guys understand, and then it's going to start populating your audience, okay? So it's going to start populating that data, give it, some time, and it will populate that data for you. But ultimately, you really should set these up initially when you're setting up your funnel. Reason being is because you're going to be able to deploy retargeting ads at these people to bring them back into your funnel and convert them, okay? And it's very important that you do this properly, because if you don't do this properly, it's not going to convert well. And remember, you should be simulating. You should be running data simulations. You should be determining, okay, what's my cost? And you should be reducing the winners, increasing the ones that are, reducing the losers, increasing the winners, scaling the ad sets that are doing well, that are at a low cost per acquisition. And then you should be tracking everything. You should truly be tracking everything. And remember, this has to be profitable. With YouTube, you can get very profitable for obvious reasons, because like I said, it's the best targeting platform in the world. People think that Facebook and Instagram is better and LinkedIn's better because of the job title functionality, because of you can target by people who are in specific groups on LinkedIn. With Facebook, you can target by interest, demographics. Nothing compares to this because you're targeting by interest and demographics, but you're targeting people by who they are, and then you're targeting another layer of what they want. So imagine it's not enough to say that I'm an entrepreneur, right? It's not enough to say that I'm targeting an entrepreneur or a business owner. It's I'm targeting a business owner who's interested in buying marketing services, right? Or I'm targeting a business owner who is my target audience. That is the demographic I'm looking for, who's this age group or whatever, but he's looking for accounting services specifically, right? So that's why it's so much more powerful on YouTube, because the intent is there. The intent of what they want is there, which is unlike any other platform. Like, you could target by who they are on Facebook and on LinkedIn as well, but you can't filter by what they want on any other platform. Literally, you can't. You can try to reverse engineer what they want. You can try that. You can try saying, okay, if they're interested in this, then they might be interested in this product. But you're guessing, you're literally testing and split testing, right? This is different. This is, you literally know who they are and you literally know what they want. And you're just targeting accordingly, and you're just hitting the right people. And you'll see that your ad traffic, the traffic on YouTube, first of all, has higher sales intent. They're going to buy more often. So you don't even need to do book calls. With YouTube ads, you can actually do direct purchase campaigns. So I might even run people to a page like this, or like dealflowacademy.io/buy, for example, right? And I might just run direct to purchase traffic. And still have my VSL there. So they still have to watch the same VSL, but it's asking them to make a purchase for $3,000 USD, right? As opposed to, you see the way we do sales online is a little bit different than the way we book calls. The funnels are different. With sales online, you actually have to prove yourself more often. You have to have way more case studies, a little bit more about you, a little bit more frequently asked questions, things like that. So this would be a direct sales campaign. And YouTube, you can do that because there's enough alternatives to be shopping around for. There's enough information on YouTube, and there's enough granular targeting to say, okay, who they are, what do they want, and now I just need to hit them with the right offer. That's it. And then boom, they're going to go ahead and they will go ahead and scale with you. They will opt in, they will buy whatever it is, they will purchase, and you can target by the custom conversions. You can filter by, custom audiences. It's almost endless in terms of what's possible on YouTube. And I'm just really excited I was able to share, my knowledge of YouTube. I created a fresh YouTube account for this video just to show you, even on a fresh account, that it's really easy to create these campaigns. All I would say is just focus on creating a good winning YouTube ad. So focus on, crafting your offer properly. And that comes down to, making sure your funnel's ready first, making sure you have your VSL. Once you've created a VSL, you'll see how easy it is to create a YouTube ad, right? Because remember, we went over the VSL template. I created you guys a VSL template, which is literally here. You can just create your VSL first, right? Because you can't start running traffic to anything that doesn't. So here's a proper VSL template, right? So after you create your VSL, you're going to be able to create a YouTube ad easily, right? So do this in order and do stuff sequentially, but ultimately this is exactly what you want. You want to run your YouTube ads in sequential order, but you do want to get to this point where you are running YouTube ads because the granularity of the targeting is insane. The intent of the leads are insane. The cost per purchase, the cost per lead is way lower. And you're just not going to waste any time on YouTube. You're obviously going to split test and figure things out. But once you figure out a winning ad set and a winning, campaign, it will just perform on its own. It'll bring a plethora of customers knocking on your door, filling up your CRM, filling up your pipeline, if you have sales reps, those sales reps can hit those leads and ultimately close the deal. Much higher order values. These people will buy high ticket from you. They've ingested a lot of content from you. They've watched more stuff. They're a more incentivized lead to actually purchase. Okay, so that's essentially my spiel on YouTube ads and how that operates. Now what we're going to do is open the floor for any questions. So specifically, I know we have a few here, so let's go over to the Q&A section. Then we'll pop open some chat here too. Okay. Okay, can we narrow down the audience down to just the GTA? So yeah, you just got to play around with it, obviously, and you could test that and see, what exactly is possible. But ultimately, it should be possible. I mean, if it's not, then you're just going to want to make sure that you create a new campaign here. Here's an example. So let's go over to website traffic again. Let's go over to video ads again. Let's click continue. And let's just go right to the location section. You should be able to, but some platforms are different than others. I normally never do that. I don't go location based. I usually do Canada wide or USA wide. But anyone who's locally constrained, you're definitely able to do everything you need to on YouTube. So let's just see GTA. Let's see if that's a option. Nope. Let's say Greater Toronto area. Nope. It's just province and cities. That's all it is. Let's see advanced search. Maybe there's some advanced search from. Oh, nice. You can do radiuses. Okay, cool. So let's do a 20-mile radius around. Let's just say, for example, Yitz, you have a print shop, right? So let's just say you had a physical location, right? You might want to do a 20-mile radius around your print shop, for example, right? And you might want to say, okay, let's do I don't know, M2R is the let's just say North York, right? We want to target M2R. You can literally just go like that. Boom, it's going to point a radius. So that's how you would do the GTA, and you click save. Okay. Does that answer your question? So it's just not one of those options in terms of, being able to just type it out, but you have to go to advanced search and then just go ahead and make a radius around the location you're looking at targeting and then just map it out. Okay. So glad that was answering your question. Let's go over, I see that, over here we got, all right. Okay, what do we got here? I see 3 questions in the Q&A section, but for some reason it's not letting me open it up. So whoever wrote a question in the Q&A section, just put that in the chat for me if you don't mind, because I literally can't see it. And then if there's any other additional questions, just throw them in there. And I also have this recorded. So what are SDR? SDR is a sales development representative. So that's an offshore cold caller. So that would be someone, in the Philippines or in, Bangladesh, for example, who's calling your leads for you, cold leads and warm leads. So even with this YouTube strategy, you might even have your SDR be the person to call the leads, right? That actually sign up. You might actually have the SDR cold call the leads or warm call the lead, and confirm the appointment and book you in with that lead after they initially warm them up and qualify them. That'd be a good way. Now as well, your SDR primarily though, is specific to cold leads and data mining, which is what we were speaking about last week. I would just put your SDR on cold leads for now. That way you have brand new leads coming in from that SDR. He's like kind of like he's a machine printing out new opportunities for you, and then you handle any advertising related leads that come in, because you don't want your SDR hitting those yet. Unless he's trained and he's really good and you have a good SDR, then absolutely open the floodgates to warm leads. But I don't let SDRs touch warm leads unless they've been with me for about 60 to 90 days and they've proven that they're like actually solid. They know my program, they know what I offer. Then I'll open my warm leads to those guys for appointment booking purposes. But just be careful about that. And when you do, just make sure it makes sense. Next question, how should I select a customer for web designing? Okay, so let's go over that. Why don't we scroll down Deepa? So you're obviously not location-based, which is great, right? You can actually, and YouTube's powerful for that. You can actually target people anywhere, Deepa. What I'd recommend is I would say enter a location, okay? And I'd obviously target the United States. Just because they got more money and they pay you in US dollars. And then you can also type in Canada, okay, for yourself, Deepa. And then what you want to do is scroll down, inventory type, keep that standard, okay? And then you're going to scroll down again, and then it says excluded types, exclude the embedded YouTube videos. And then you're going to scroll down again, site link extensions, don't add those, standard. You're going to create your in-stream skippable ads, and then you're going to go down to age, gender. So for website design, you're obviously not going to do 18 to 24. Actually, you could do that, but those people are more sophisticated usually. And they're also too young to like pay a lot of money for a website. So you're probably your best bet, Deepa, is to target people 25 onwards who like specifically, the parental status doesn't matter to you. Household income doesn't matter to you as well. I would say just leave that completely open and just disable the youngest age group. And then where it says audiences, you could actually pull in some audiences, some in-market audiences. So Deepa, remember I said you could be in the market for website design, correct? Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. You guys aren't even seeing my screen. Hey, I'm literally going through the ads manager right now. Hold on one second. You guys see my screen? You guys see my screen? Okay, so Deepa, this here is what I was talking about. So you might even go up here. You might want to target Canada and the US is what I was saying. And then you might want to do standard inventory. You want to go exclude embedded YouTube videos. You want to go down here where it says standard. Okay. And then you want to go down here and disable the age 18 to 24. Okay. And then you're going to want to scroll down where it says audiences. And this is all you got to do, right? You see here where it says website design. I'm literally going to type in website, just website for now. And you see here, there's custom intent audiences. Okay. Let's not click those. Let's look for in market. Okay. That's what we said. In market audiences, right? In market audience for web design. Boom. There's literal Deepa. There's people that are already looking for web design services on Google, right? And development. So just click that. That's the people you're looking for, right? Those are the in-market people. And remember, we're layering those in-market audiences with demographic audiences, right? Ages, locations, right? And then after that, we're saying, okay, let's talk about placements. Let's talk about what they're interested in, because it's not enough to know that they want website design, right? They want website design. That's great, right? And they are living in the area we serve. That's great. But what are they what specifically do they want, right? The demographics are great. It's fantastic, right? But what do they want? Maybe you want to even put a custom audience, Deepa. So you see here where I said custom audience. You might even come down here and say, okay, custom audience, click on that. And then you might want to go ahead and type in, what they want, right? So we said anyone who visits, WordPress, anyone who visits WordPress.com or Webflow.com, right? Or Wix.com or Squarespace.com, right? You might literally even hit all the people that are visiting all these website builder websites, right? So you can even target all those people because Google has all the data in the world. You couldn't even imagine. They have all your browsing history and everything. So people with any of the following interests or purchase intentions. And then you want to essentially just go like this. Just type in webflow.com. Just type in wordpress.com. Type in wix.com. Type in squarespace.com, right? And these are all the people that have been on these platforms, right? And then you click create, and that's it. And boom, you have this custom audience that's also been created, right? So you have your in-market audience, which is your people looking for website design and development. That's layered with your audience demographics. It's also, we have a custom audience added for people that have a certain browsing history. And then we're now going to layer that based on what they're interested in, right? So you might want to go to YouTube channels. You might want to find on YouTube first. You might want to source out a really good YouTube channel, right? So you might want to go over here and say, okay, look, what's a really good YouTube channel? People that are on the Wix YouTube channel, right? Look at what Wix posts. Wix always posts, or no, that's not Wix. This is Wix, right? So Wix always posts videos on like tutorials on how to do things, how to update your plugins, right? How to actually use the e-commerce functionality, like little specific tutorials, how to use your abandoned cart automation, right? They go through a lot of things. So what you can do is you can say, okay, look, you see the how-to series, the Wix how-to series. You could literally target people who are watching the Wix how-to series by grabbing the Wix channel and going over specifically here to where it says video lineups. We can go over to video lineups. Oops, let me go back and just paste the actual channel. So you can paste the channel, and then it's going to allow you to go ahead and grab the channel, or you're going to be able to grab the video lineups. I'm not sure. Counting. You're going to be able to actually go ahead and grab the YouTube channel directly, which is pretty much all you need. I would say just start with YouTube channels and then put your videos on put your ads on all these competitor YouTube channels, okay? Or you can find a website design company. So like say website design, all right? And you can find an enterprise website design company. So let's just say This guy's talking about better website design. So let's see, Flux, that's his channel, 300,000 subscribers. He teaches website development, right? So entrepreneurs watching his content are looking to design a website, okay? In which case you might want to use his channel as well, right? So you're going to grab his channel off of YouTube and you're literally just going to paste it in here as well. Because we're going to layer these audiences. Do you see how we layer the audiences? And that way we have people who are interested in Flux and Wix.com channel. They've gone on these websites. They are in the market for website design. They have these demographics and they are in this location. Now, do you see, Deepa, how that's very viable for the sake of your business? Okay, nice, nice. Okay, sweet. Okay, so thank you guys so much. I'm glad that you got value. Let's raise your hand if that was good. Good session. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And I hope you gained value from that. That was a longer lesson, but it was worth it because when you guys build your funnel and you get to the step that you are now running YouTube ads, you'll be able to create the most hyper-targeted, you'll be able to drive the most hyper-targeted leads and sales through this as a channel. I'm excited for you guys. Let me know, submit all your stuff as an asset review. I will look over everything to make sure everything's running smoothly before you launch your campaigns. I don't want you wasting your ad dollars. So you guys take a look and then we will go from there. Thank you so much, guys.